So starting off in a reclining position, as always, coming down onto the mat, shift yourself forward, take a breath in, bend the elbows and lower yourself down. And as always, as we all know, the most important thing in yoga is that connection to breath, breath awareness and breath connection. So take a moment before you do anything just to notice your breath. Before we even start to augment and sort of play around with what our breathing feels like and where we're breathing, start to notice where it's happening. Start to notice what you feel like. And remember, we're in a place of non-judgment. So we're not sort of looking for faults in ourselves. We're not looking for things that are wrong or things we want to change or better. What we're looking for is stuff. We're just looking around. We're just taking a look around. You might notice one side of your body is a little bit longer than the other. You might notice one lung is a little bit more expanding a little bit more than the other. You might gently rock yourself from side to side or rock your chin from side to side. I quite like to just shift weight in my hips and take like these real sort of micro twists. They're quite nice. Whatever, just have a look around. Notice what your feet feel like. Are your toes curled up? Is there tension in the hands? Sometimes the hands curl in and claw in like a bit of a fist when we're feeling tension. Or maybe not, maybe there's no tension. Maybe you're totally relaxed, and I hope you are. And from here, we're going to bring our awareness to our shoulders now. And what we want to do is just start to take some movement in the shoulders. So start to just roll your shoulders around. Don't be too big with the movement either. Just sort of noticing one shoulder and then the other, or both shoulders at the same time. And I've got my hands on my lower ribs, which is sort of just a natural, neutral position for myself, but wherever your hands are most comfortable is fine. And just shifting the shoulders around. And I quite like to imagine when I'm doing this with my shoulders, it's kind of a little bit like kneading dough. So you sort of want to get to every part or every surface area in your shoulders. You want to move each muscle. So see if you can sort of play around with that as much as possible. When you find those little clunky bits, that's actually a really good thing. So we're looking for those clunky bits and just trying to sort of move through that. That's just the muscles that haven't been engaged or haven't been synergized in a while. We want to sort of keep them moving. The more all of our muscles are sort of reactive and ready, the better. Then we're going to do this really nice little exercise where we're going to lower the hands down by the sides of the body. And we'll start with our palms facing down. See how that goes. Now I suggest, I don't know if I've already said it, I suggest having the feet walking back in towards our body, so then you're nice and neutral in the spine here. Not too much, you don't have to bring the heels all the way back into the hips, just somewhere comfortable. You can let the knees knock in as well if you like. And then what we're going to do, guys, is we're just actually going to roll the backs of the hands in towards the body. So you're rolling over, and what this is going to do is it's going to lift your shoulders away from the mat and actually separate your shoulder blades. It's quite an odd feeling. And it's sort of what we, most of the time in yoga, what we're going against. We're usually trying to sort of broaden the chest and lengthen. But it's really nice to actually shorten the space between the shoulders here, to lift the shoulders away from the mat, sort of hunch. Make sure you try to press the knuckles of your shoulders towards the ceiling here. Now the palms of my hands are facing away from my body. I've actually rolled the backs of the hands in and lifted. Staying long in the neck, you might need to elevate yourself up a little bit here. Let's make that an exhale first. And that's inhale, and then actually just roll the arms away from the body, roll the hands away from the body. And then as your palms face away, or wherever they get to, it doesn't matter too much, you're going to feel the shoulder blades draw together. You're going to lift the chest. And I can actually feel that all the way up the backs of the arms and the triceps as well. And just feeling the chest expand. There's a sort of a natural inhale that happens here. And then exhale. Let's roll the arms back in towards the body. Doesn't matter how much distance they cover. And then lift. Press your shoulders towards the ceiling, close them in, and then reverse that movement. We're going to do a couple of those, guys. So find your breath, nice long inhale. And we haven't worked into the breath too much yet. But start to find that chest breath as you inhale. And then as you exhale, start to sort of hollow out through the spine a little bit. Through the spine. Hollow out the navel through towards the spine. And then we'll inhale, roll the arms back out. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Perfect. Now let's just bring the hands back by the sides of the body. We might even bend the elbows, bring the hands back to the lower ribs. We're going to bring a little bit more movement into this. So we're going to actually start some pelvic tilts here. So this is really going to bring our breath and movement together. So take a deep breath in. And if you've done a class with me before, which all of you guys probably have, you know I'm mad about these pelvic tilts. They're just so important. So let the chest expand. Let the ribs separate. Create that nice arch in the lower back. Feel the chest expand up towards the chin, then lengthen the chin away from the chest a little bit. Then exhale, ground down. Feel the spine sort of lengthen down over the mat here. Feel the front body engage. Let's do maybe 3 more of those. Inhale. Breathing into the chest here. And then as you exhale, feel the abdominals sort of hollow out a little bit and feel the breath draw up underneath, or the abdomen draw up underneath the rib cage there, stretching our diaphragm out and squeezing down through the lower back. We're going to do 2 more of those. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Last one, inhaling. And exhaling. Now let's release the arms and add all of those movements together. So bring the hands down by the sides of the body. Inhale, roll the shoulders away from the body, arch the lower back, lift the chest. That beautiful big opening, and then exhale, roll. Hands back in towards the body, ground down through the lower back. Inhaling. Open the chest. There's this really lovely expansive feeling. You sort of reach through the fingertips, press out through the palms, open yourself out, your shoulder blades together and exhale. Inhaling. Pelvic tilts as well as these nice little arm rotations here. 1 more of those. Inhale. Beautiful big expansion. Now exhale, roll the hands back in towards the body so palms are facing down. Now we're going to transition straight into the next movement. Maybe walking the feet back towards the body a little bit, press into the heels, lift the hips up off the ground, open the chest. Exhale, grounding back down. Bridge pose. We're going to do a couple of those with breath. So let's inhale, take the pelvic tilt first. Exhale, ground down. Press into the heels, lift. Find your bridge pose. A little bit of pressure down through the back of the head. As we all know, press the knees away from the body, scoop the tailbone under. Exhale, lowering back down. Inhale, pelvic tilt. Exhale, ground down. Spread the toes out wide, find equal weight through the feet. Press down through that knuckle behind the toes, in front of the arch of the foot, and then lift. Now concentrate on getting that nice opening in the hips here. Now from here we're going to take a bind. Actually, we're taking 5 breaths in the bind. If you've got a block nearby and you need to support yourself, that's fine, you can do so now. Support your knees by pressing them towards the space or towards the front of your mat. Squeeze the glutes in to help release the hip flexors. Take the bind now. And as you do so, press into the backs of the arms and draw the shoulder blades together here. Press your chest towards the space above the crown of your head. Open the chest. Now try to reach your knuckles towards your heels. So we bring all of these movements together by sort of rolling the shoulders away from the body, just like we did before. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, release. Lower down, we're still with breath here. Inhale, arch. Exhale, flatten. One more. Lift the tailbone. Lift the lower back. Lift the upper thoracic spine so the weight is pretty much in our shoulders now. Make sure your neck is supported. If you are elevated up on a block or something, I would definitely take that away now. So you're not crunching into the neck too much. We don't want to be over exerting the neck at all. So from here, find your stability, find your space. We're going to soften the arms, so we're not putting too much pressure into the arms here, or any pressure at all. Then we're going to bring the hands up overhead and reach up overhead here. Maybe find a diamond shape with first finger and thumb. And reaching up, this is really going to open your chest. Now point the tailbone towards the knees, stay with it. We've got 4 breaths here. Really feel the glutes switching on. Feel that front body, the hips opening. Exhale, feel the chest opening, feel the shoulders opening. Stay with it. Inhale, big breath into the chest. Keep that tailbone scooping. Equal weight through the feet. Last breath in. And let's lower back down. Use that same exhale to bring the knees in towards the body. Lift the soles of the feet off the ground. Hands to knees here. Squeeze the knees in towards the body. You're going to feel this really, really nice release. Not being too forceful, but give yourself a nice squeeze here. Perfect. Maybe take a breath in, release the knees. Keep the hands on the knees, release that tension, then exhale, draw them back in. Give yourself a little bit of a rock from side to side, even. That's quite nice. Couple of breaths here, guys. And then we're going to lower the soles of the feet back down. Then you can just make one nice smooth transition straight back up onto hands and knees. And we're going to go through a couple of classic cat-cows here. So roll the shoulders back and press the chest forward. Exhale, arch. Tuck the tailbone under. You should feel a really nice release on the tuck. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Very nice. Now we're going to build on top of this. Now anyone that's really not into doing downward dog or not feeling up to it today, that's cool. We can just tuck our toes and just reach your arms out in front for now, and that's a really nice alternative to downward dog for now. Otherwise, for the rest of us that are not really going for it, we're going to press the chest forward, find the first half of our cat-cows. I guess it's a cow. And then we're going to exhale, tuck the tailbone under, and lift the knees. And start to flow like this a little bit. Inhale, come forward. Down to the knees, lift the chest. Use that lengthening or that upward orientation of the tailbone to guide you, like a string is attached to your tailbone, up into your downward dog, and this is going to lengthen the spine out as well. Keep the knees really nice and bent. Inhale, come forwards. Down to the knees. Once again, you don't have to be coming into downward dog if you're not feeling the vibes. That's cool. And then exhale. Downward dog or child's pose, or that little variation we just had a look at. Inhale, going forward. Exhale, press into the heels, lift. One more, guys. Inhale. Exhale. Walk out through the heels. We're going to hold for a couple of breaths. Adjust your posture. Sometimes it's nice to bring the feet out a little bit wide. I find people bring the feet right in towards the center of the mat here. So really bring your feet out towards or I recommend bringing the feet out towards the edges of the mat. Really letting yourself just pedal into the heels a little bit. Feel that lovely opening out over the IT bands, out over the glutes and the outer thighs there. Deep breath in. Let the body warm up a little bit. Stay with it. Good, and then when you come back to a neutral position, lift your tailbone as high as you can, bend the knees if you have to, press away from the arms, but really open the side body here. Breathe into the outer edges of your lungs. Inhale, and exhale, lower back down. We're going to stay with flow. We're going to inhale, straighten this right leg out. And exhale, step through right foot into our low lunge. Let's untuck the toes. Let's bring the chest forward. And then from here, we're actually going to keep the hips where they are, and then exhale, just arch the lower back. Inhale, press the chest forward. Then we'll exhale, arching. One more of those, inhale. And exhaling. Now we inhale, come back to a neutral position here. Bring the right hand to the right knee and start to take a twist. Reach the right hand up if you like, and take a deep breath in. And then press forward through this right knee. Take a deep breath in, and a long exhale. Stay with it. Remember, we could just have our hands on our ribs or just on the knees, fine as well. Inhale. Exhaling. Inhaling. Then guys, we're going to exhale, bring the hand down to the inside of that right foot and spill out onto the blade of the right foot. Now it's getting pretty crazy here, so just take it as much as you like from the pose, or you can just let yourself dip into the hip. If you want to let the knee spill out to the side, that's cool, but always be mindful of yourself. Take a deep breath in for that nice opening in the groin. Give yourself a long exhale here. Inhaling. Exhaling. Let yourself melt down into it. This is called a lizard lunge. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Now, wherever you are, let's make sure we've connected the right foot, the sole of the right foot back on the mat. Step all the way back through. And we're going to sink back down here, guys. Take a deep breath in. Fill that space in between the shoulder blades. Long exhale. And we're going to come back up onto hands and knees. Now we're going to extend the left leg. Step through, left foot. Take a couple of these pelvic tilt, these lunging pelvic tilts. So give yourself a nice opening in that right hip. Lift the chest. And then exhale, we're looking just to lift these left ribs off the left thigh here. So tucking the tailbone under you for this really lovely opening in the groin. Let's do one more of those. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale. Now let's find a neutral position so we're not dipping into the lower back. And we're going to start to make our twist here. So you can be on the fingertips, you could be on a block if you like. And start to twist in. You should feel this really nice opening in the right hip flexor. That's it. Now bring this left knee forward. You can move all the way into your twist if you like. You can bring hands to ribs. We've got 3 breaths here. Let's take those breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhaling. Exhale. You might even be looking up over the fingertips. Inhaling. And lowering that left foot back down, left hand back down on the inside of the left foot. And just let the knee spill out to the side here. Let yourself sink into your lizard lunge. Let's take 3 breaths here. Inhale. Remember, you could be up on a block and that's fine as well. Exhale. Inhaling. Exhaling. Brilliant. Inhale. at your own speed or following my breath cues, whatever's working best for you. Exhale. Coming back up to a neutral position now. We're actually going to put the weight down through this left foot. Make sure you're feeling secure. Make sure the knee is underneath the, what am I saying? The knee is underneath the heel here. And tuck the tailbone under. Lift the chest. Reach all the way up. Sink forward. So we're just coming to a nice big lunge now. Inhale, lift the chest. And exhale, fold forward. Stepping back. Now we're going to lower through our one and only Chaturanga Dandasana for the day. So scoop the tailbone under, lower yourself down. Inhale, press the chest forward. Exhale, spill forward from here. We're going to do one more of those cobra poses. So inhale, press the chest forward. Now press into the palms, lift the shoulders, draw the neck, or like imagine you're trying to press the crown of your head towards the ceiling and lengthen away from the shoulders with a bit of strength in the arms here. Then exhale, lowering back down. That's pretty much all the hard work, guys. We'll press back up onto hands and knees. Now, let's bring the knees out nice and wide, toes together, sink back down over the heels. Give yourself a little bit of release here. So, hands to elbows, lower the forehead down. 5 breaths. Inhale. And a long exhale. Inhaling. Exhaling. Let yourself melt down. Transitioning into the next pose now, we're going to bring our left hand to our left elbow. We'll start on the other side actually so you can see. I'm going to bring my right elbow towards my right knee. And I'm going to reach this left arm out and just give myself a nice big opening. I'm also resting my forehead on the back of that right hand. I'm just going to take 3 deep breaths here, 3 to 5 deep breaths. Deep breath in, long exhale. Inhaling and exhaling. Last one, inhaling and exhaling. Slide the left hand back towards the left elbow, back towards the left knee. Let's use the inhale to reach this right hand out. Use a nice big side body opening here. Opening up all those muscles that wrap around the underside of your shoulder, your lats and your rotator cuff, and all those little muscle groups. Breathe into that open space in the right lung now. Take a deep breath in and try to press your right hip down towards the right heel and extend through the right fingertips. One more inhale. Exhale. We'll do one more. Inhaling and exhaling. And we'll bring the hands all the way back around in front of the body. Let's come back up onto hands and knees. Bring the knees back underneath the hips here. Sink back down over the heels. Reach the hands around behind the back of the body. Now find the crown of your head on the mat here. Not crunching in by trying to place our nose on the mat. Crown of the head here. Reach towards the ceiling and take a deep breath in. And a long exhale. And your hands might just be on the back here. You might just be lifting the shoulders, and that's fine. That's really what we're looking to do, is lift the shoulders away from the mat. You've got 3 more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Deep breath in. And a long exhale, releasing. And let the shoulders fall away from, the hands fall away from the lower back. Let the shoulders fall away from the spine here. Let the shoulder blades soften. Breathe into that space between the shoulder blades. Give it this really nice sense of relaxation. Deep breath in. And a long exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Last one. Inhale. And a nice long exhale. From here, we're just going to walk our way back up onto hands and knees. Now, I recommend having a block or a prop here available for this one. And what we're going to do is come into a pigeon pose. Now some hip release, just like you asked for. So I'm going to bring my right knee towards my right wrist. I'm going to expand, or I'm going to bring. Tell you what, I'm going to start on the other side. You don't have to if you don't want to. I'm going to bring the left knee towards the left wrist, just so you guys can see. And I'm going to slide this left heel just in front of my right knee. That's a really good place to start. And from here, I'm just going to slide my right leg back. And this might be as far as we go. And this is making our way into our pigeon pose until you start to feel a nice opening in the groin there. In the left hip, sorry. Now, if your left hip, if there's space between your hip and the ground, then just place a block underneath. And let yourself settle in. Try to get as equal as you can through both hips. We don't want to be sort of falling into the left hip. Take a deep breath in here. And then lower yourself down maybe. Maybe you don't need to. If you want to go further, we can lower ourselves down to our forearms. Or you can even walk your hand right out in front. Very nice, guys. Deep breath in here. And a long exhale. A good 5 or 6 breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhale. And exhale. I won't do any more breath cues. I'll let you do the next 3 or 4 breaths at your own speed. Let yourself fully settle in. Try not to let the mind wander. And then from here we're going to walk the hands back towards the body. Of course, being really gentle on yourself. First, press into this right knee and slide this left foot back. I'm just going to bring my block over to the right side here. And straight away bring my right knee forward towards my right wrist and flaring this right foot out in front of the knee. You can bring it out further if you like, but it's can put a bit of pressure on the knee. So just be careful. Just always being careful with yourself. Never throwing yourself around or forcing your body into things. Try to find equal weight through those hips. Take a deep breath in here and lift the chest. You might stay here, that might be fine, or you might start to tip forward from the hip down to the forearms, or extending the arm down in front, or whatever's working for yourself. Inhale. For this first breath, it's really nice to imagine that sort of length all the way from tailbone to crown, and then exhale, let the lower ribs melt down over that right leg or that right thigh. First few breaths are really nice for sort of initiating the pose. Then we just incrementally sort of let ourselves settle further and further in with each breath. And don't be too ambitious. Don't get yourself into a pose or a variation of this pose that is just agony, or that feels unstable, or that feels uncertain. Make sure you feel safe in your pose. Take a deep breath in from here. Long exhale. I'm not cueing the breaths on this side, I'm letting you do it. Give yourself a couple more breaths. Let yourself melt, let yourself surrender into the pose. Let's take our last deep breath in. And long exhale. And then walk the hands back towards the body. And come back up onto hands and knees. Take this lovely little movements from side to side. I don't really have a name for them. Little hip dips, I suppose. And we can turn that into some circular motions if you like. And we'll come back to a neutral position. Make our way down into a reclining position. That's pretty much it. Shift yourself forward. Make sure you're not going to bump into anything as you lay down. Take a deep breath in. Fingers facing towards your body and then lower down as you exhale. Feel that lovely length happening in your spine as you just melt that into the mat. And we're just going to take happy baby, a happy baby variation here. So lengthen the back of the neck. If you need to prop yourself up, that's fine. The hands are gently drawing down on the knees. Or we can thread our arms through the inner edges of the knee joints and reach for the blades of the feet, and that's pretty fun. And then we're up in our full happy baby. We start to sort of draw our shoulder blades towards our spine a little bit here, opening the chest and opening the feet out to the side. Out to the side, and also pressing towards the heel, pressing the heels towards the ceiling, drawing back on the hip, blades of our feet with our hands. If you could make sense of that, I hope you can. I'll take a deep breath in. And a long exhale, feel the lower back soften. Try not to be too forceful, maybe rocking yourself from side to side. And then release. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Wrap your arms around your shins and take a deep breath in. Curl up into a tight little ball if that's available for you. And unfold, find your Savasana. Let the feet fall out to the side. Let the shoulders melt away from the torso. So feel that opening as the shoulders melt into the mat. Find somewhere comfortable for your hands. Soften your gaze or close your eyes. Propping yourself up in places where you've been. Take a deep breath in here. And purge it out, exhale. Really express that exhale breath. Open the mouth. One or two more of those. Inhale. Nice long exhale. Inhaling. And a nice long exhale. And completed that go of your breath. Let it all settle in now. Let everything soften. And just being aware of this point where we sort of have nothing we have nothing tangible to do, we have nothing physical to keep our mind busy. So often this is where the mind will start to sort of wander around and we'll worry about later on, we'll worry about this morning, or might start to be finding places that you feel itchy, or you might be wondering what's next, or this and that. But just for a moment, just remind yourself, you've got plenty of time to think. You've got the whole rest of the day to think about stuff. So just maybe let that dialogue fade away just for a few more moments. And this is the real practice. It's just being in our stillness, being in our bodies. Just letting yourself settle in. Just a few more moments for you guys. Take a really nice deep breath in now. And a long exhale. And start to move the body around a little bit. Reach the hands up overhead. Stretch yourself out or take any intuitive movement you feel like you might need. And we'll make our way up into a seated position and seal our practice as always with gratitude for ourselves, our bodies, our ability to change and learn and grow and adapt. For the food we eat, the water we drink, and the air we breathe, we'll take a deep breath in. Namaste.